Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday! It's Tuesday, and today is a very special day for me, but I got the sweary affirmation cards again because I absolutely love these. And I thought, how about some mindfulness and maybe one from today's goals or crush your goals. So, I thought that'd be kind of fun, right? So let's see what we got for crush your goals. I'm just going to split this in half and then we'll go. And we are on card number 30 of 60 of the self-awareness cards of getting into the vortex, which means we are halfway through. So this one from Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Rhimes, she's a writer. My father used to say to me, the only limit to your success is your own imagination. I actually believe that. Like, I'm still coming to terms with the fact that I might not be an Olympic figure skater. I'm sure there are barriers. I've just not chosen to acknowledge them. I like that. So there's your goal. You know, the only limit to your success is your imagination. I really like that. So let's get to some mindfulness, and then we'll get to the sweary affirmation cards. I love the sweary affirmation cards. So let's see. Good morning, older sibling. So I know the perspective is a little early today, but I have an appointment at 10, so I have to rush through everything today, but it's okay because, you know, I'm not sure I'd have a whole lot to say anyways. But okay, let's see. Here's some cards. All right, let's see. Do we have any more? Whoop, there they are. La, la, la. So, all right, let's see here. Sorry, let me put those back in. First one. Flower power. Okay. Examine the intricacies of the flower, the petals, the colors, the lines. Take the time to notice the difference between two flowers of the same type and why that might be. Does one have more sunlight? Is the soil better quality? Have you recently watered one more than the other? So there you go. It's kind of like emotions and feelings, right? It's like, are you listening? Are you paying attention to yourself? Or are you just focusing on everybody else and not focusing on yourself? Turn off your phone. The most distracting object we own, keeping us from mindfulness, is our phone. Well, it's pretty much any technology. Constantly overwhelmed with emails, the time, text, social media, the weather, the news. Your phone can be a distraction from the present moment. Choose a time in the day when you turn off your phone or leave it behind. Be present in conversations, be present with your family, and enjoy time without it. That's a good one. Mindful friendships. Think of a friend. Think of something you can do for them. It could be a small gesture to let them know you're thinking of them, or something bigger. Even small acts of kindness will improve your relationships and help enhance your compassion. And last but not least, mindful thinking. Mindful waking. Oh yeah, mindful waking is a good thing. Wake up and recite this verse. Waking up this morning, I smile knowing there are 24 brand new hours before me. I vow to live fully in each moment and look at other beings with eyes of compassion. So again, waking up this morning, I smile, knowing there are 24 brand new hours before me. I vow to live fully in each moment and look at other beings with eyes of compassion. And I'm going to say it, guys. I'm going to say it because it's my birthday. I'm going to use the sweary affirmation cards. That's right, kids. I am now 50. 50, straight up 50. Woo! Telling you, when I was a kid, I wasn't sure I'd ever make it to 50. But, I mean, not because of anything bad, but I mean, I've been running around with a repaired heart for 50 years, and thank goodness to my body for, you know, working hard to keep up with me. But let's see, nothing's wanting to come out, so come on. What do we all need to hear today on my 50th birthday? Come on. I will say this, most Capricorns rule. Not all of them. Okay, here's one that just stuck out. So, let's see what it says. Are we ready? What are you waiting for? Get out there and fucking do it. What are you waiting for? Get out there and fucking do it. Get out there and fucking do it. Do it, do it, do it. Do whatever it is that makes you smile. Do whatever it is that brings you joy. And while you're doing it, make sure that you're not being mean to other people, because You know what? Karma has a way of slapping you back. Karma has a way of slapping you back. So, we are on card number 30 of, we're card number 30 of getting into the vortex, getting into self-awareness. To me, the vortex is the core of your soul. You know, and I know you hear me say that every day, but if you're new, then you know that's new for you. So it's, to me, it's the core of your soul. It's the vortex where everything comes from, right? So the last couple of days have been about diversity, and so, you know, like I said, for anybody that is new, I don't peek at these cards ahead of time. I just kind of, I'm going through them with you. I found this deck about 2 months ago, and I was like, hey, this would be great to follow up self-love with. So that's why we're doing the, you know, we're following up the 30 lessons of self-love with the 60 days, or 60 lessons, I should say, because it's not consecutive days, of getting into the vortex, or getting into what I consider it to be of self-awareness, getting into the core of your soul and figuring out exactly what it is that, you know, will make your soul happy. It's like decorating and furnishing, doing the interior design of your house of self-love. So let's see. Our varied behavior adds to the planet's well-being. Our varied behavior adds to the planet's well-being. That's a really pretty purple, isn't it? When you remember that nothing can come into your experience without your vibrational invitation of it, and when you remember that the varied behavior of others adds to the balance and the well-being of your planet, even if they offer behavior that you do not approve of, and that you do not have to participate in the unwanted behavior and will not unless you give your attention to it, you become more willing to allow others to live as they choose. I feel like that's like the world's greatest run-on sentence. Probably not, because there are, you know, there is punctuation in there. But again, excuse me, our varied behavior adds to the planet's well-being. When you remember that nothing can come into your experience without your vibrational invitation of it, and when you remember that the varied behavior of others adds to the balance and the well-being of your planet, even if they offer behavior that you do not approve of, and that you do not have to participate in the unwanted behavior and will not unless you give your attention to it, you become more willing to allow others to live as they choose. So again, it's, I think we're kind of moving out of the diversity topic, but this is kind of the period on the sentence of diversity. And now you're probably saying, what do you mean by your planet? Well, these are cards from Esther and Jerry Hicks, and Esther Hicks channels, you know, the teachings of Abraham. So, and I don't know which Abraham it is, no clue. It just says the teachings of Abraham, and, you know, it's about tapping into the, so it says here, it's always satisfying for me to be able to tap into the vibration of Abraham and to translate their empowering message into our current time and space. So, you know, the messages we receive from the other side, and that may be, you know, that may be out of your comfort zone, but I always tell people when they're watching these, don't focus on where the message is coming from, you know, where the cards are coming from. Focus on the message themselves. I mean, this card is basically telling us that if we could just learn to get along and respect each other's opinions, we'd probably be a little farther along as a human race. But we argue, we fight, people invade countries, people feel like they need to be in charge of everybody in the world, like this whole world domination thing. I mean, when I was a kid, I thought that was only in the cartoons, but it is not. And what I think what the card is saying is that you have a choice. So it says, when you remember that the varied behavior of others adds to the balance and well-being of your planet, or the planet, even if they offer behavior that you do not approve of, then it says, and that you do not have to participate in the unwanted behavior and will not unless you give attention to it. So in my perspective, I think what they're saying here is that we would really get along better if we would stop trying to force each other to conform to our own thoughts. My way is the right way. My way is the right way. My way or the highway. Do you ever wonder what would happen if people actually met in the middle? I'm not saying you have to convince somebody that your opinion's right, but I mean met in the middle. just had a conversation. Imagine how much everybody would learn. You may not change somebody's mind, but you may have planted a seed to make them look a little deeper, look a little farther, and say, you know what? Maybe not everything on the surface is exactly as it seems. And I think that's what we miss sometimes as human beings. We forget to go beneath the surface of a human being. We see what's at the top, and we see what they present. You know, you could go onto social media and judge somebody because their opinions or their beliefs may be different from your own. But what happens if okay, so, like I said, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted because people are wishing me happy birthday on the live. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate it. Good morning, T. So anyways, you may go onto social media, and I talked about this the other day, how I was dragged into a conversation, and I literally mean dragged into a conversation, and I didn't want to be in it. I tried to do everything I could to keep it from being open and public and out there, not because I didn't trust my opinion, but because, I personally know the person that kind of tagged me in something, and I'm not putting the person down, okay, because I think, there was a conversation that was held afterwards, and there was kind of a meeting in the middle of it. But one of the reasons I use this as an excuse is because, people will latch onto something, and, they don't know me from the next person, but boy, they were sure quick to judge me because my opinion did not match their own. My opinion varied from their own. And I mean, for all intents and purposes, in the initial conversation from a couple of days earlier, I probably should have just left it alone. But sometimes you see stuff out there and you're just like, I don't care what your opinion is. That's fine. You're allowed to have your opinion. You're allowed to think or feel or say or do whatever you want to. But when you start putting stuff out there that you're not sure is true, but you're just posting it because somebody with a blue check mark next to them is posting it, they're just people. Especially now that you can subscribe to a blue check mark on Twitter. But I mean, they're just people with opinions as well. And that doesn't mean their opinion is right. That doesn't mean their opinion is wrong. Just like your opinion may not be right or wrong. But don't spread misinformation. Just because one person that you think knows. Talk to people about it. Get information from the sources. Don't just go what you see on social media. I mean, that's dangerous. That's like having an illness and going to Dr. Google. You're going to send yourself down. I had a friend who did that all the time. She'd go right to Dr. Google, send herself down rabbit holes, and turns out it was nothing close to what she thought it might be. That's the problem we have. We sit there and we decide our opinion is the only opinion. It's okay to share your feelings. It's okay to share your beliefs. It's okay to present to the world how you view it. Because, you never know. There might be someone out there who feels just like you, or there might be someone out there who might be teetering on the edge going, I'm not really sure. But hey, thanks for giving me the courage to just say my own truth, speak my own truth. Everybody's allowed their own opinion. Like I said, I have been raked over the coals and dragged for mine. And it's okay. I'm kind of used to it now. I don't really care. Half the time I just laugh it off because I think, there's a lot going on in there. There's got to be a lot going on in there for someone to just single me out and pick on me. So it's like, and some people are just mean. Some people are just mean on social media. I don't know if it's because they can hide behind the keyboard. And the funny thing is, I sit there and say, wow, they're so mean. What must they be like in their real life? And who knows? They may be the nicest people on the planet. And this could be a whole separate identity for them to get out all that crap. And that's fine. If they want to take it out on me so they don't take it out on their loved ones, whatever. I still don't think it's right. But I have grown a thick skin over time. I've grown a extremely thick skin over time. So, so this is funny. I have my birthday box. And I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to now. Because I feel, with my age, has come wisdom. And probably wisdom I picked up a long time ago, but I'm finally listening to. I don't think we give ourselves enough credit, but I am wearing my crown. I actually have a different one, but this one I like. It says 50 on it. But I have a better one that's so big and so kind of gothic looking. It's awesome. This one's going to ruin my curls. But there we go. I know my curly hair is kind of so anyways, there we go, right? It's like a nice little headband for my head. But with age comes wisdom. And I'm wearing that to make a point. It has taken me far too long to get through all these things, to get to a point where other people's words no longer bother me. And I'm not going to say they're not going to hurt from time to time, because they do. But I give it a moment. I take it in. I consider the sources. If and when it's somebody you know, it might be a little more painful. But just try to think of where they're coming from. You know, maybe they're in pain or something, and maybe they're just being dumb because of that. Because remember, hurt people hurt people. But when it comes to, you know, our varied behavior adds to the planet's well-being. If you see something and you choose to engage, you have literally put yourself into that. And you can sit there and you can fight about it. You can sit there and give them your opinion all day. Like I said, on social media, when you don't know the people, you're probably not going to get far. Because they're, you know, if you're commenting on one specific thing, there are probably 10,000 people that are going to jump on you and sit there and go, you're wrong, you're stupid, blah, blah, blah. Good morning, baby bear. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I just put on my crown right before you came on. But I do have a different, like I said, I do have a different one. I'm going to wear the different one when I open the last of my birthday boxes. So, you know, but anyways, that's the next 25 minutes or so. But, going back to this, the vibration, you know, when you remember that nothing can come into your experience without your vibrational invitation of it, when you decide to engage, you have put yourself in it. You know, when somebody drags you in, you don't have to respond. I made them in, and that's where I made the mistake. I responded. I did. I responded, and I probably shouldn't have, but I did. And I did put myself into it. I put out the vibrational, you know, invitation of it because I gave it attention. It says, and you know, the varied behavior of others adds to the balance, even if they often offer behavior that you do not approve of and that you do not have to participate in the unwanted behavior and will not unless you give your attention to it. Aw, thank you, baby bear. She's been my cheering squad the last couple of days, as I've closed in on my big birthday. And I just have to tell you, thank you. You made crossing in to midnight this morning a lot easier, you know. And I've done a lot of my own work, but it's always nice to have a little cheering squad, right? So thank you. I know she entered the decade I was in and I left. So I'm testing the waters for you for the next 10 years. But yeah, you know, here's the perfect thing. You do not have to participate in the unwanted behavior and will not unless you give your attention to it. You become more willing to allow others to live as they choose. So, you know, I see a lot of different posts on Twitter, and I've just decided I don't want to get involved anymore. I don't want to. Because it does mess with my vibe. In fact, you know what? I wasn't going to share this, but, you know, I've talked about this before, and maybe this is something that I need to cover on my own with the unwanted behavior, but I also think this kind of goes with us. You know, my 40s were what I called a veritable shit show because they were hard. You know, I lost my mom, I lost Sissy, I lost a friend, I lost a cousin-in-law. There was a lot of shit happening. And, you know, I mean, the biggest one for me, which is mostly directly related to me, would have been my mom. I lost her when I was 41, right before my 42nd birthday. So, but I started on a journey in there. And the me 10 years ago is not the me today. And we can all say that, right? I mean, the me 2 weeks ago isn't the me today. The me 2 weeks ago was freaking out about having a birthday and going, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. And even yesterday, older siblings said, well, it's rolling off your tongue a little bit better now. A little bit easier now. And she's not wrong. Because I realized, I saw this great quote the other day that says, the first half of our life, we're figuring it out, right? We're learning the lessons, we're doing all the stuff, all the things. And then the second half is meant to take that stuff and enjoy it. But I'll tell you, the last 2 days, I was literally like, am I 50 yet? Because, excuse me. Wow, that must have been my fizz stick I had this morning, along with my coffee. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to come into this new decade, and I'm not going to go... I told my dad, I said, I'm going to creep into this new decade as opposed to sliding in face first. And when I turned 40, I ran towards it like, wow, everything's going to happen in this decade. Everything's going to be mine in this decade. And what I didn't realize at the beginning of it is that I had a healing journey to go on. I had a lot of work to do to get through my stuff, to get through what I needed to get through. And I got lucky. So next Thursday, I was supposed to start my new round of therapy. I haven't been in therapy since 2017, but I'm kind of stuck. And I admit it. And there's a reason I'm talking about this, because I think sometimes we bring this along, but also because I do like to talk about mental health. So maybe we're shifting out of this card. I'm not even going to say that I'm going to make this correspond with this card, because I'm not. The message I want to give here is that it doesn't matter how old we are. It doesn't matter where we feel we are in life. I decided that at 50, I'm going to take it one moment at a time. Not even one day at a time, just one moment. Older sibling asked me this morning, how are you doing? And I said, so far so good. So far so good. And she's all, no, but I mean overall. And it's like, no, really, so far so good. I decided this morning, because it's supposed to be raining pretty hard. It's my birthday and it's raining. Everything's happening today. It's raining. The Golden Globes, which are usually on a Sunday, decided to be on my birthday today. My Windows that I had on my previous operating system went obsolete today. So last night I was up late trying to download the new version, because I'm a procrastinator to the finest, championship gold medal winning degree. And there was some other stuff that was happening today. I'm just like, seriously, what is happening? But yesterday I got a phone call. And Shelly Marie, we have an opening tomorrow. Instead of next Thursday for your therapy appointment. And I thought, wow, that's great, because next Thursday I'll be heading to San Diego for my second of 3 birthday celebrations. So I thought, that'll be a good idea. And I was so excited, and I thought, oh, good. But it's like tomorrow's my birthday. Everything's happening, blah, 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 blah. Thank you, Aileen. Good morning. And I thought, wow, this is a lot. I got to put my show earlier. I got to do my birthday box earlier. And the one thing I thought the most of after I finished kind of worrying about all that was, I don't want to worry anymore. I don't want to think and overthink anymore. But then I thought, wow, the universe is hearing me. Not only has it heard me, it's given me a gift. The ironic thing is, my first appointment back in therapy after 6 years was that it was literally on the day that my friend took her life. And I thought, wow, that just seems very symbolic. Like, I'm going back into therapy because the thoughts that have been rolling around in my head have not been that great. And so I kind of took that as symbolism. And then, like I said, an appointment opened up for today, and I thought, wow, the universe is hearing me, and it's giving me a gift. It's giving me a gift from my mental health. It's saying, okay, look, you're rolling into this. And so that felt very symbolic too. And the other symbolic thing I did, since it is raining outside, is, my segue. I kind of ruined my segue, didn't I? I thought, yeah, it's going to be pouring this morning, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go take my shower. I'm usually a night showerer, but I waited for this morning. I'm going to go take my shower outside. So the minute I get outside, it stops fucking raining. Of course it does. It stopped raining. I'm like, you got to be joking me. It's like, but I thought, no, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to let that stop me. So I went in, I grabbed all the biggest cups I could find. I grabbed the big thing that sibling uses to put, coffee in the Keurig machine, or the whatever machine, the one that uses. So, and I thought, I'm going to just put hot water in all of them, and, which is kind of nice because then you're not bathing in the cold rain. And it was just dark enough outside. I'll have to tell you what happened at the end though, because that was pretty funny. But I thought, and I did. I soaped, I shampooed, I conditioned, it felt so freeing. It's also probably why my hair looks amazing right now. I mean, it's still wet. But I mean, like, my curls are just like, yeah, baby. And because as I finished this outdoor bathing, out in the elements, it started to sprinkle again. And I thought, wow, okay, this is good. This is what I need. And yesterday, when I went to a bar, I had my last Guinness of the year, 2 Guinnesses, and a shot of Tullamore. I went full Irish last night. I was journaling, and I was journaling pretty hardcore. It was my my 49th, last day of 49, last day of my 40s, and I thought, this is what I usually do before big birthdays. I usually do it at midnight, but I had to download, like I said, procrastination. And I wrote something for myself: read and then burn. And so I did the burn ceremony, and I dropped the ashes outside this morning. I did it right before I went to bed after midnight last night, or this morning. And I dropped them outside. And as I showered outside, it all went away. Now, mind you, I'm lucky because I'm short and I have a gate. But, because it rains, the wood does weird stuff. So I kind of have my pajamas hanging over the gate. And just as I was finishing and getting ready to put my pajamas on, my neighbor comes out of their gate, which I don't think they could see anything. And I don't really think they would have thought twice about it if my pajamas hadn't been hanging over the side. But I thought, you know what? I don't care. Don't look in my gate. But they're new neighbors. You also don't want to scare them away. But it was so therapeutic in some strange, odd way. And I think it was because it just felt, I'm cleansing myself. I'm washing away all the ick. And, I told older sibling, at first I wanted her to go to my therapy appointment with me, because sometimes she remembers stuff that I don't. And when you have depression, your mind can sometimes just be so stupid, and I don't mean we're stupid. I mean, it's just you forget things. You're not sure if, you're just not sure. And I told her, I said, I think I figured out why I need to go to therapy. Because a friend last week said, maybe you should try therapy again, and I was like, yeah, I'm right on it. Literally got in the car, started making appointments, and, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. And then I thought, okay, this is good. It's like, yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. And it's like, oh, okay. All of a sudden we're going to have we're having, or see, this is what depression is. This is what depression is. I literally lost my thought. And all I could think of was this. The reason I need to go back to therapy is because I can't seem to let go of who I used to be so that I can live the life of who I am now. And I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds silly. But sometimes things happen, so things that just ingrain themselves. And when we don't deal with them right away, they grow those roots. And so basically, I am the gardener, and I'm going to the horticulturist. I think that's the right, job for these people, the gardeners. And I'm going to ask them for advice on how to pull out these weeds and get fucking rid of them. Seriously. Because it's time. When we have bad things happen, take the time to grieve. Take the time to give the situation some compassion. Thank you, Lori. That's sweet. And thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So, I love when people are open about their mental health. I think the reason we're not so open is because we're so stigmatized. And then you see TV and you're thinking, oh my God, the loony bin. And, it's not always like that for everybody. You can't put a person that is literally in a mental health facility and lump them in with a person who is just suffering from depression, because they may have a lot more going on. or they may not know how to handle it, or maybe they've been so stigmatized they don't know how to handle it, and they just fell apart and had a nervous breakdown, and now they're in there. Sometimes I've wondered what would happen if I checked myself in somewhere. Would I get the help I need? But this is what I'm doing. I'm going back so someone can listen to me that does not know me, that is independent of who I am, and can teach me more tools to get through this next part of my life. I don't know how long therapy will last. It could last today and I get all the answers I need, or it could last through the month or through next month or the couple months or the year. I don't know. And I'm not worried about that, because I'm just going to take it one moment at a time. And so I do want to say, if my birthday message to all of you, if you feel like you're struggling, don't, and I know it can be expensive. Most insurance will cover it now. I'm grateful that I have insurance that does. But don't stigmatize yourself. Don't listen to the rest of the world yammering at you saying, oh no, you're wrong. Or you're crazy, or you're weird, or you're psycho. Because the one person that's going to take care of you is you. It doesn't matter how many people love you in this world. It doesn't matter if you have a partner or you don't have a partner, or if you have a caregiver or you don't have a caregiver. The one person that needs to take care of you the most is you. You need to be there for you first. You need to know your worth. You need to know your self-love. You need to be self-aware. And you know what? Sometimes it's okay to be selfish. And remember, self-care and self-love are not selfish. They're necessary. Self-love is a desired trait. It's not narcissism. Narcissism is that's another mental health diagnosis. But self-love is a desired trait. It's a desired trait to see the person in the mirror with as much love as you would give to a spouse, or a significant other, or a parent, or a family member, or a child. And to remind yourself that the person that's looking back at you is the person you were literally with every single day, every moment of your life. And don't you think that person deserves to be treated well, with kindness and love and respect? We're going to go through hard times in life. There are bad things that are going to happen. That's inevitable. But how we deal with it is what sets us apart. A person who's having a bad day over here because maybe they spilled their coffee on their shirt on the way in. Nothing else is going wrong in their life, but that whole thing could set them off. And maybe you're going over here going, oh God, I don't know how I'm going to make it through today. You put on that smile, you fake it till you make it. And then you finally figured out the tools. You're like, you know what? I'm going to take as many steps away from my desk to take some breath. I'm going to take all my breaks. I'm going to take my lunch. Maybe I'll go for a walk. Maybe I'll do some meditation just to get yourself through the day. And so you may be in so much pain, but that person who spilled the coffee on themselves, they're the ones having the bad day, because they're like, how can this happen to me? They just take it to a whole new level. But we have the tools. We learn the tools. We gain the tools of how to deal with, all these things. And how to deal with bad days. Like I said, after I started taking stock on my 40s, I could not wait to be 50. And I'm not lying. I could not wait to be 50. I'm not going to lie. It's been a little hard waking up and knowing, sorry, I'm going to get emotional, and I don't mean to, but I'm not going to apologize for that anymore. Every birthday is hard for me, because before cell phones figured out how to save messages, it happened about a year or two after, where you could just transfer everything from one phone to mirror onto another phone. I lost the only birthday song that I had left from my mom. And it was the year she passed. And she sang Happy Birthday. And I think that was the hardest part about waking up today on such a big birthday. Because above my desk is a card that she made, folded up into this big thing. And it's probably like a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook page, actually. And that was the last card I got for a big birthday when I turned 40. And it sat up there for 10 years. And it will continue to sit up there, and I should probably frame it so it stays intact. But that's the last big birthday message I got from her. And I think that's the only hard part this morning, was not, having her call me and sing happy birthday to me. But that I struggled with over this last year. That's why it took me so long to figure out when to do my birthday, what I wanted to do for my birthday, because I didn't really want to celebrate it. I didn't want to celebrate it without her. I didn't. But now I realize the best way to honor my mother is to move forward, to live this life the way she would have wanted me to not hang on to the memory of her in a painful way, but in a loving and respectful and compassionate way. And I think that's what we can do for all the people we lose in our life. We're going to have those moments where the sadness comes up, where the tears well up in our eyes, and that's okay. Don't brush them away. Don't be ashamed. Do you know what a beautiful thought it is to have a person that's passed away that still evokes so much beautiful emotion in you? There are some people that but I'm not going there. I'm sticking with the good stuff today. The fact that my mom evokes an emotion in me means that I was very grateful to have a very good mom. When I think about her and I laugh or I smile or I cry, there's gratitude there. For all the people I lost in my 40s, there's gratitude there. I learned lessons from every single one of them. It's hard too, not having Sissy there. Sissy Joe. But I know they're looking down. I know they're paying attention. And I know somewhere around here is my mom, just wandering. So, anyways, I was a lot longer than I thought it would be, but I do hope I got my point across. I really, really do. Please take care of your mental health. That's my biggest message today on my 50th birthday. You might be able to get through things a lot faster if you do that than waiting until you're my age. But I don't stigmatize myself for that either. I figure I'm at the right age to share this message and to kind of bridge that gap between, when we're young and as we get older. Every year is a gift. People don't always think that. People are afraid of their birthdays or afraid of their age. I celebrate my birthday like it's a fucking holiday. I have a whole box here. I mean, it's 50 and fabulous, or not a day over fabulous compact mirror. I have a stash for my birthday. I have cake toppers, and I have a little tiara. I have a crown sitting over there. And why? Because when I was 3 years old, I had a 50-50 chance of living. So I came into birthdays with a little bit of a different perspective. Every year is a gift. Whether you had a 50-50 chance of living at some point, whether you've had some kind of accident or trauma or whatever it is, every year is a gift, and it's up to us to see that gift. Don't worry about the number that you're turning. It's just an age. It's just a number. And if you're going to worry about it, think, wow, look at that. My mom was 66 years old when she passed away. Sissy was just shy of her 47th birthday. My cousin-in-law was just shy of his 37th birthday. My friend who passed away was just shy of her 48th birthday. None of them, except my mother, made it to 50. And my mom didn't make it to the next decade. That's why my dad's big on celebrate the decade, because you don't know if you're going to make it to the next one. And, I'm sitting here. I already told my higher powers I'm going to live to be 103 and a half. So they're like, what? But yeah, I already put in my request. I want to see the tricentennial. But anyways, that's me yammering for the day. I have to go because I have about 3 minutes to get ready for my birthday box opening. And that will be the final one for my birthday from my father. So thank you everybody for sitting in there. Thank you for the last 20 minutes listening to me talk about mental health and how we need to take care of it and everything. I know I went down a different, we forked in the road, right? We had one topic on the vortex and, not engaging. We draw to us our own experiences. You get to choose if you engage or not. All right. But when it comes to you, always engage. Like I said, if there's stuff that's bothering you, give it a temporary home. Give it a temporary home. Dad, this is not the birthday video. I'm coming. It's coming in 2 minutes. But give it a little home and then send it on its way. Do not let it grow roots. All right. So have a great day, everybody. I'll be back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Facebook Live, for Self-Care Wednesday and card number 31 of Getting Into the Vortex. We are now into the second half of the self-awareness cards. So, Lori Bradford, thank you. Thank you. She said, thank you for being fabulous. The people I hang out with make me fabulous because they're fabulous as well. So thank you, my friends. I love you too, baby bear, and thank you. And yeah, again, you can find everything across the board on the Aloha Perspective, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook page, Instagram. You know, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because I got 1 minute now to get on for my other live. So again, have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the birthday wishes. And I will see you tomorrow when I'm 50 and 1 day. Have a great day, everybody.